Ladies and gentlemen, we held very useful and detailed talks with my colleague and friend Nassour Bourita, Minister of Foreign Affairs, African Cooperation, and Moroccans Abroad, and Minister of the Kingdom of Morocco. We firmly reaffirmed our commitment to continuing our joint work to further strengthen the traditionally friendly, trusting relations, the strategic partnership between our countries. We thoroughly examined current issues on the bilateral agenda. We briefly touched on trade and economic exchanges. We have a mutual interest in increasing trade turnover and exploring areas for mutual investment. We also share the view that the potential for practical cooperation in these areas is far from exhausted. We didn't discuss this topic in great detail because tomorrow, practically the entire day, the 8th meeting of the Intergovernmental Mixed Russian-Moroccan Commission on Economic and Technical Cooperation will be held. My colleague is co-chairing the Moroccan side, and Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Patrushev is chairing the Russian side. The Intergovernmental Commission has a busy agenda, and we expect good results. We were pleased to note the high level of cooperation in a number of other areas. This primarily concerns the humanities, particularly education. We currently have 4,250 Moroccans studying with us, and there is a high interest in receiving an education in our country. We will support this in every way and will try to accommodate all those wishing to come here and study at our higher education institutions. We also discussed the good contacts that have developed between your colleagues and the media. There are also mutual journalistic trips and internship exchanges. We will encourage this as well. We have stable, trusting contacts between our foreign ministries, primarily at the UN, but also at other international venues, including the Russia-Africa and Russia-Arab League forums. We agree that the Memorandum of Understanding, just signed in your presence, establishing an inter-Smithsdom working committee to deepen the strategic partnership between the Russian Federation and the Kingdom of Morocco will contribute to strengthening our interaction and coordination. We exchanged views on current issues on the international agenda. We prioritized the situation in the Middle East, North Africa, and the Sahara-Sahel region, and also discussed the situation surrounding Western Sahara peace in light of the ongoing Security Forum discussions on this topic. We reaffirmed our principled position in favor of resolving all outstanding issues and conflicts on the African continent, as in other parts of the world, exclusively through political and diplomatic means, based on the fundamental principles and norms of international law enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations. Moreover, we share the view that these principles should not be interpreted selectively, not like some dish you choose from a menu, but rather that the principles of the Charter must be implemented and respected in their entirety and interrelationships. We discussed in detail the situation in the Palestinian zone of the Israeli conflict. Morocco traditionally plays a very important role in facilitating efforts to achieve a peaceful settlement of the Palestinian issue. In this regard, we note the role played by His Majesty King Mohammed VI as head of the Jerusalem Committee of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. We welcome the emerging positive changes in the situation on earth. I'm referring to the Palestinian territories, particularly the Gaza Strip, which expressed satisfaction with the successful start of the implementation of the first phase of the agreements between Israel and Hamas on a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the exchange of prisoners. This agreement was brokered by the United States, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey. We hope, and this is our shared opinion, that the agreements reached will be strictly implemented, including taking into account the results of the peace summit held on October 13 in Sharm el-Sheikh. And that the implementation of these agreements will not be the end of the matter, and that further steps will be taken, which have been much discussed recently, including at the Sharm el-Sheikh summit. First and foremost, the ceasefire in Gaza must, of course, be sustainable to allow for the delivery of humanitarian aid and then the large-scale restoration of the Palestinian enclave's infrastructure, which was almost completely destroyed during the fighting. Otherwise, all our efforts to create conditions for the return of internally displaced persons and refugees will be unsuccessful. These are extremely serious issues. It is crucial to address them in a way that does not undermine the prospects for the full implementation of UN resolutions on the creation of a Palestinian state. And to ensure that the processes currently underway, primarily those of a humanitarian nature, contribute to the creation of conditions for a political solution, a solution that will address the root causes of the Palestinian-Israeli and Arab-Israeli conflicts. It is crucial to resume as soon as possible the political process for Middle East peace, based on United Nations resolutions, which provide for the creation of an independent Palestinian state coexisting in peace and security with Israel. We expressed gratitude to our colleagues for their balanced, considered position on the situation in and around Ukraine. Rabat, like most other capitals in the global south and global east, understands that a sustainable settlement is impossible without addressing the root causes of the crisis. First and foremost, we are talking about the threats to Russia's security that NATO has been creating for many years by bringing its military infrastructure right up to our borders and using Ukraine as a springboard for threatening our country. Secondly, these are the most flagrant violations, including legislative bans on the rights of the Russian and Russian-speaking population of Ukraine. Not only on linguistic rights but also on religious rights, when, along with the ban on the Russian language, the iconic Ukrainian Orthodox Church was also banned. In conclusion, I would like to inform you that next year we will celebrate the 10th anniversary of the joint statement adopted at the highest level on deepening our strategic partnership. We agreed to mark this anniversary with a series of events, including an exchange of delegations between relevant agencies and intensified contacts between parliamentarians. Our friends also supported the holding of Russian Cultural Days in Morocco. We will continue to maintain an active, trusting dialogue. I once again thank my friend and colleague and am pleased to give him the floor.
Thank you very much. We held the first part of our in-depth and productive dialogue with my friend and colleague, Sergei Viktorovich Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation. We reaffirmed the strategic partnership that binds our countries. This is also the position of the King of Morocco. He values this relationship, as well as the relationship he shares with Russian President Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. We have a truly fruitful and positive relationship. Next year will mark 10 years since the signing of the Statement on Enhanced Strategic Partnership, signed by our leaders. This will be a good opportunity to celebrate the signing of this document and several others signed during the Moroccan monarch's visit. We are making good progress on all our planned areas. I would like to highlight tourism. Indeed, a large number of Russian tourists visit the kingdom. Weekly flights have also been launched between Casablanca and Moscow. This is a positive factor in the development of tourism. We will also launch flights from Casablanca to St. Petersburg to support the ongoing development of the tourism sector. In fact, we have strong political ties. We cooperate on an ongoing basis. And I believe that after signing today's document, we will be able to make these ties more nuanced and formal. I am referring to consultations between the two countries' foreign ministries. We are well aware that the Russian Federation plays an important role on the international stage and is involved in various matters. Therefore, we attach great importance to our dialogue with the Russian Federation. We know that our cooperation is not directed against anyone. It is aimed solely at promoting peace, be it in the Arab world, the Arab region, or Africa. We always welcome the positive influence that Russia has on resolving the many problems in these areas. This undoubtedly contributes to strengthening stability and security in these regions. Tomorrow will be the 8th meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission on Political Consultative Cooperation. And Dmitry Patrushev, who heads the Russian side in the Intergovernmental Commission, will meet with me. We will discuss economic issues and how we can move forward in this area. The Intergovernmental Commission is truly an important element of bilateral cooperation. This affects issues including humanitarian issues, education, and other areas. Tomorrow, we will look at how we can intensify our work within this framework and make serious decisions. And also next year, 2026, we will actively work to strengthen our bilateral cooperation. We will also organize visits of relevant ministers between our countries. We will support cultural events that we will hold both here and in Russia. Relations between the Russian Federation and Morocco began in the 15th century. This is important to remember. We have a large number of bilateral documents signed in various areas. Perhaps, we have not signed such a large number of documents with other countries. Indeed, this is a wealth of experience that must be preserved and expanded. We have excellent ties between business representatives. We discussed regional and international issues. Also, in April, Russia will preside over the UN Security Council. We hope that the work will be fruitful and will have a positive impact on compliance with international law. However, we agree with the Russian Federation's position that these provisions cannot be implemented selectively. Many changes have occurred over the past 50 years. These must be taken into account in our work, including at the UN. Our King Mohammed VI spoke about this. Of course, Russia is a prominent player. It is important to us as a friend, a partner, and a close country. And, in particular, we will value our cooperation at the UN Security Council. We discussed the events and situation in the Middle East. We share similar positions. We highly appreciate the efforts of US President Trump, aimed at achieving a ceasefire in Gaza and ensuring access for humanitarian aid. We hope that all conditions, agreements, and deals will be fulfilled, which will further pave the way for the political process and its launch. And ultimately, an acceptable solution to the Palestinian issue will be developed. The King of Morocco believes that the two-state solution is the only viable solution to the Palestinian issue, with the creation of an independent Palestinian state with its capital in East Jerusalem within the 1967 borders. We support all the steps developed and outlined in Sharm el-Sheikh. We also discussed the African issue. We cooperate on this front. Mohammed, King of Morocco, also pays serious attention to the African continent. We touched on the Western Sahara issue. Of course, in this regard, it is necessary to take into account the interests and sovereignty of countries. And we are in no way prepared to listen to prescriptions imposed from outside, particularly by former colonial countries. Elections are held. These elections shape the people. And we support them and monitor them. Stability must be achieved in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. We also support this. The stability of these countries affects the stability of Morocco. Therefore, the kingdom supports all programs aimed at combating terrorism, which are being implemented in the aforementioned countries. We also discussed Russia-Africa, the Russia-Africa Summit, and this area of cooperation. The last summit, held in Russia, was extremely successful. The Foreign Ministers' Council meeting, which will be held in the coming weeks, will be another opportunity to discuss serious issues and problems and outline the future agenda for this format. Naturally, the security and stability of the African continent are a priority for this format. Morocco and Russia are committed to building a multipolar and just world. We believe this is an acceptable form of existence for all countries and a fair solution to many problems. This, in fact, provides an opportunity for African countries to develop. We understand that such a world structure will benefit everyone. I am grateful for the fruitful dialogue with my colleague Sergei Viktorovich Lavrov. I hope that he will visit us in Morocco. We will be happy to host him. We met in Marrakesh at the RAV's meeting, but we hope to see even more visits and to see you during these visits. And next year, we will celebrate the 10th anniversary of the signing of the Statement on Deepened Strategic Partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention. This concludes the press conference.